Your Excellency General Yakubu Gowon, the former head of state of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Your Excellency, the Governor of Kaduna State, members of the National Assembly present here, Honorable Minister of Defense, and other ministers present here, the Chief of Defense Staff and Service Chiefs, former Service Chiefs, Chief of Defense Intelligence, and other heads of security the agencies and senior officers, both serving and retired, and the royal fathers, members of academia, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be with you for this opening ceremony of Chief of Army Staff Conference 2019. This conference serves as a platform for strategic leaders and operational commanders to appraise, assess, and evaluate the Army's activities for their 2019, as well as make projections for improved engagements in 2020 and beyond. This kind of periodic self-assessment is being sustained because it is critical for the professional development of the Nigerian Army. One of the cardinal pillars of our government is the provision of security. Accordingly, working for a sustainable and secured environment is a major priority for this administration. It is therefore encouraging to note that the Nigerian Army, as a critical element of national power, is involved in innovative and inventive ventures to become an army to be proud of in the future by all Nigerians. There is no doubt that a lot has been achieved by our Army since my assumption of office as the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. This administration has continued to provide resources to carry out transformational projects with the sole aim of modernizing the Army to be better positioned to perform its constitutional roles. In this regard, it is pertinent to acknowledge the establishment of the Army University in Biu, the Army Resource Center, and the Army War College to further boost intellectual capacity in the forces. Furthermore, the establishment of the Army Special Corps, the Army Cyber Warfare Command, 50 Space Command, and the Land Forces Simulation Center are laudable efforts at repositioning the Army to address emerging and future threats to our national security. I note the collaborative efforts of the Command Engineering Depot with relevant indigenous organizations to promote local content towards developing our military industrial complex. I am glad that the production of the Uzugu mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles, which I will be unveiling today, would join the infantry patrol vehicles that were earlier produced as testimony that our efforts are yielding positive results. Additionally, your efforts in terms of capacity building, training, and conduct of exercises are quite commendable. I am aware that there are ongoing field exercises such as Atilogu UDO-1, exercise IAM, Akpatuma 2, and exercise Crocodile Smile 4, among other civil military cooperation activities. These are impressive efforts geared at enhancing operational efficiency of the Army, as well as facilitate conducive security environment for socio-economic activities to thrive. I found the theme of this year's Chief of Army Staff Conference, which is, I quote, application of the cutting edge of the Nigerian Army in tackling contemporary security challenges, unquote, aptly captured to address the purpose of the conference. This government is not aware that the achievements of the Army came with associated costs. Many personnel have lost their lives. Some have sustained injuries, and a significant number have been away from their families for a long time. I once again send my condolences to the families of those who have paid the supreme sacrifice in an effort to safeguard the sovereignty of our great nation. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Amen. I urge our soldiers to continue to abide by their ethics and ethos and keep to the rules of engagement and code of conduct while ensuring that human rights and international humanitarian laws are promoted and respected in the conduct of military operations. I salute the courage and the gallant efforts of the personnel of the Nigerian Army. I am highly impressed with the conduct of operations that continue to flush out the terrorists from their enclaves. The conceptualization and execution of the super camp concept in the Operation Lafia Dole theater have maintained the momentum against terrorists. I urge you to sustain this great effort. Let me, at this point, reiterate our government's resolve to do everything within its constitutional power to ensure the security and safety of law-abiding citizens. This is a commitment we have made and will continue to keep. At this juncture, I wish to commend the Chief of Army Staff for his laudable efforts at transforming the Nigerian Army. He has keyed into the federal government change agenda, and I particularly commend his thrust in the critical areas such as innovative and inventive approach to producing military hardware, infrastructural development, restructuring, and reorganization, among others, with significant results, particularly in the ongoing counterinsurgency operations and other operations across the country. This government will continue to support the Army to sustain these laudable initiatives aimed at repositioning you to deal with contemporary security challenges and to achieve a modern army of the future. For members of the armed forces, I want to reiterate government's commitment to your welfare. We are aware of some of the challenges, particularly in the areas of training, manpower, and barracks infrastructure. We will continue to do all within available resources to provide for your operational and welfare needs, particularly in the area of health care for your personnel and their families. I am therefore delighted that later this afternoon I will be commissioning the new block recently completed, equipped and furnished in the 44 Reference Hospital here in Kaduna, which would not only provide excellent medical services to our troops, but could also serve the needs of United Nations personnel as a level 4 hospital. I commend the Chief of Army Staff and his predecessors who initiated, continued, and complete this project. I have gone through conference program, and it's my belief that the conference would generate new strategies and concepts that would enhance sustainable peace in the country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to formally declare the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2019 open. I thank you all, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
That was the address by His Excellency, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. Please shall we give him highly resounding applause. The special guests of honor, sir, senior officers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. An important and rare occasion such as this, where Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief is physically present. Such occasion cannot be complete without appreciating Mr. President. For that reason, I would like to request the Chief of Army Staff to please make a presentation to the special guest of honor, the President and Commander-in-Chief, President Muhammadu Buhari. The Chief of Army Staff, please.